I'm here with David Young, who's not only the treasurer of Manor Players, but he's also acting in the Manor Players' latest play, 3 Years of Prime Minister, The Remarkable Times of Spencer Perceval. Hello, David.
Good evening.
First of all, can you tell us a little something about yourself?
Yes, I always laughingly say I'm a product of the youth scheme of Manor Players. My first production, the first time on stage, was at the grand old age of 61. Complete novice. Don't know how I got there, but I just enjoyed it, and from that moment on, I'm hooked.
Mm-hmm. So, what was the first thing you ever saw on stage?
It pretty certainly was a pantomime at the Finsbury Park Empire in 1947. It might have been 46 even, but it was just after the war. And that, well, from a kid, that was just amazing. It was real. Films were, of course, at that time black and white. You hadn't seen many, but to actually go and see a full production with lights and music and dancing, it just unbelievable.
So when did you decide then that you wanted to try your hand at acting? You were saying that it was following the youth scheme. It wasn't something that you'd been interested in before?
No, I love the theatre, and for many years we used to make certain that we went to the first couple of weeks of any notable West End show. We were particularly keen on the big musicals, so we saw all those from Cats and Joseph the lot. Never really considered that I was going to be or could be on stage. It was just outside my whole sort of area of thinking. Yeah.
And can you remember the last play you saw?
The last play I saw was the revival of Miss Saigon. We had seen that, I think it was the fourth night that it opened, and we were just blown away by that. That was an amazing show. And we were very interested to see it revived last year, and went along to see what they'd done with it, how they'd improved or unimproved it.
Okay. Can you remember the best performance you've ever seen on stage?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult because unless you go with a critic's eye, you usually convince when you come out of the theatre, well, I've just seen one of the most amazing performances out. I think Michael Crawford in Phantom was amazing. Les Mis, we saw that very early on, just after it transferred from the Barbican, with Colm Wilkinson, and I thought those two, but probably if you ask me again in 5 minutes, I'll come up with completely different names.
So which piece of work for Manor Players are you the proudest of so far?
Well, I've tended to do rather lightweight parts. I've done Dame a couple of times, and comedy, light comedy. The really serious part that I did was something called In Dangerous Obsession, which was just a three-handed play, which was did in a very intimate hall here at the hall we're in it now, the studio. That was very good. I was the villain, but it wasn't a normal blood and thunder. It was quite a psychological thriller, and I think I did pretty well in that. In fact, I have watched the DVD since, and I think, yeah, I wasn't bad.
So the production you're in at the moment, Remarkable Times of Spencer Perceval, what was it about the story of Spencer Perceval that caught your interest?
Well, I've always been interested in history, modern history really. I think in my day you used to call it current affairs. Not the Tudors and going back that length, no, it leaves me cold. But modern history, so from Wellington, that sort of era onwards, it's always interested me. Seeing some rough information on this particular play, I thought, yeah, I can see this in modern times. The problems that Spencer Perceval faced, the opposition, and the way he went about things was very relevant to today. So I think that's what intrigued me about it. Mm-hmm. It was a historical piece, but came across as quite modern.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us a little something about the two characters you were playing without giving too much away?
Right. Well, the first one is Richard Ryder, who is the Home Secretary. He's probably one of Spencer Perceval's closer comrades in government, although at times he is pretty critical and thinks that Perceval is taking completely the wrong approach to lots of things. He's supportive but critical. That I've played as rather an upper class English gentleman. Mm-hmm. At least I hope that's the impression that I'm giving. The other part is completely different. That is the President of the United States of America. And I've played him as a rather brash, arrogant, loudmouth person, which I think is the usual stereotyped American.
And do you have a favourite line in the play?
Yes, there's a line that Jeff has written when Spencer Perceval is suggesting he's got to get his message across to the nation, because basically everybody seems to be against him, and he says he's got to tell people, and the Richard Ryder character sort of says, well, he says, how are you going to do it? He said, you can hardly go riding up and down the horse. I beg your pardon. You can hardly go riding up and down the country on a horse like John Wesley. I think that's one of the good lines.
So last question, why should people come and see this play?
I think it will be a very good evening's entertainment, and it will be quite educational, or informative, perhaps a better word. It's quite apposite that it is the same week of the 800th anniversary of the sealing of Magna Carta. It's also the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo. I think people are going to have to concentrate. It's not going to be an easy night at the theatre that you can dip into, doze off and come back and you're still in the plot. I think people are going to have to concentrate, but I think it's going to be a very worthwhile production.
Okay. David Young, thank you very much.
Thank you.